Now going to question 17, we have an initial equation and we have a bunch of xy tables. Now the one thing to notice is we have all the same x values. So one way to make sense of this is to just plug in those x values. So what's q of 0? Well, that would be 32 times 2 to the 0. And anything to the 0 power always equals 1. So this is 32 times 1, or just 32. So we know that when x is 0, y has to be 32. And so we've gotten rid of answer choices A and B so far. Next, let's try q of 1. So that would be 32 times 2 to the 1. In other words, 32 times 2, which is 64. And both of these answers also have the 64. So let's do the minus 1. Q of negative 1, well, that's 32 times 2 to the negative 1. And what's a negative exponent? Now, negative exponents mean that something is on the wrong side of the fraction. For instance, if I had a over b to the negative x, well, that's the same as saying b over a to the positive x. So to make the negative exponent turn into a positive, you can flip what's being affected by it. Similarly, if we had 5 to the negative 2, well, any number is a self over 1, but the negative means that that's on the wrong side of the fraction. So the 5 to the negative 2 moves to the other side, and the exponent becomes positive, leaving what's underneath all of that, which is the invisible number 1. So 5 to the negative 2 is the same as 1 over 5 squared. So coming over here, we've got 32 times 2 to the minus. So coming over here, we've got 32 times 2 to the minus 1, which is the same as saying 32 times 1 over 2. And so that's half of 32, which is 16. So when x is negative 1, y is 16, and so our answer here is D.